Welcome to the 5th annual St. Louis Park Community Talent Show. This is our 5th year, and we're proud and honored to be able to host this show. My name is Jim McDonough, and I say we're the Park Theater Company of St. Louis Park, the St. Louis Park Community Theater. And I'm going to be your master of ceremonies tonight. I hope you bear with me. I left the bow tie and white shirt in the car. I'm going semi-Caribbean tonight. It seems that the temperature and the humidity level, the dew point, is in that range rather than getting formal attire. But that doesn't in any way diminish the quality that we have here tonight in terms of talented and artistic people. The first thing, it isn't a disclaimer, but I want you to know that other than an audition night, we really haven't practiced together. So we can't be accused, as American Idol is, of being a canned product. Although we don't have any improvisational actors on stage tonight, we have had improv in the past. It will be improvisational. It'll be pure and to the point, and hopefully entertain you, and even more importantly, showcase the talent that we have in this community. I'm going to be introducing people and coming up, and one of the things that I appreciate about communities is a sense of history, and I want to draw people's attention to the St. Louis Park Historical Society and the person that stewards that organization, Gene Anderson. And if any of you are interested in learning about the tidbits of St. Louis Park before it was a city and when it was a township and kind of just a dot on the map that the railroad went through, please visit that website of the Historical Society. But it's packed full of information about people that have lived here. And one of the lengthy essays online there is about the community theater group, which goes back many, many years in terms of efforts that have... Get a haircut, he said. Boy, there we go. That's history for you. It's been a long time since I heard those words, but that's partly why I grew it again. You're right. Get a haircut. And I will. I always do at some point. Well, once every year and a half, you know. So, yeah, again, the wonderful history. One of the people, Roger DeClercq, was the theater director and teacher at the senior high. Yes, and for years, Roger, he fostered not only the theater work at the high school, but in the community for adult actors and young adults and so on. And they put on a number of shows for about 10 or so years. And then because he was working both the high school and the community, the high school program became so much more visible and active and had students involved in it that he had to let something go, and ended up that the community theater had to take a hiatus. We started in 2007, and we've put on a number of programs. And I said this is our 5th year doing the talent show. How many of you have been here before tonight for the Wednesday night concert series this year? Yeah, some hands. I have never seen a more talented concert agenda. And this year we have the St. Louis Park Rotary to thank for partially funding this program, the St. Louis Park Parks and Rec Department, who coordinates the programs. And I want to also draw attention to Channel 16, cable TV, St. Louis Park. If any of you have cable, you're going to be able to enjoy this series along with the other performers that have been on the agenda this year all through the winter. And there's nothing that warms my heart more in February than seeing this night replayed and feeling the humidity through the TV set. So I invite you to tune in to Channel 16 and see what's going on in the community and also what has gone on. This year we started off with the Parktacular, and I knew we were in for a treat right away. The seniors banquet had Cyril Paul. How many remember Cyril Paul from the day in his Caribbean Marauders, his Calypso Marauders? Well, I was a fan of Cyril Paul back in the late 60s and 70s, and he performed for us. Rubber Soul, the Beatles cover band on Parktacular night, did a fantastic job here and put on a great show. And just last week, I saw Ben Kyle in the Romantica, his group Romantica here. How many were here at that concert last Wednesday night? Ben's a fantastic performer, musician from Northern Ireland originally, came over with his father when he was 12, and has a musical group and does a lot of great songwriting and playing. And then, of course, last weekend, we had the You Betcha Festival at the West End. Anybody making it to the You Betcha Festival? It was a hot day, but there were groups from the past, the Del Counts, and Dr. Matt Fink, who's a St. Louis Park resident and played keyboards for Prince, has a Prince cover band, the Purple Experience, and they jammed well into the late hours of that night. But no further ado, we have a treat for you tonight. We have several performers, and the first one on our list tonight, Wayne Hamilton. Wayne is a singer-songwriter. He also has an acting background and is a professor of theater at the University of Minnesota. Wayne is also the president of the Minnesota Songwriters Association, and I want him to, after he plays for us tonight and as he plays, to give us information about that, because we have young talent tonight that'll be performing that will benefit from being part of a collective of other performing artists. Wayne, it's all yours. Ladies and gentlemen, Wayne Hamilton.
Thanks, Jim. Well, it could be pouring rain out here tonight, and I'd still be taking a sip of water before I start singing because it's dry work up here. My name is Wayne Hamilton, and unlike the rest of the people you'll see on the stage tonight, I did not go through the audition process. I'm a guest artist, and I'm sure that the talent that you see on stage after I leave will far surpass anything I can offer you. I'm going to come back at the end of things, but my job at the start is to kind of warm things up, warm you guys up. So we're going to do a little sing-along, okay? Here's a bunch of songs, or just a few songs really, designed to get you guys involved. This is a song by Bob Dylan, and sing along on the chorus or sing along on the verses too if you want to. It's called You Ain't Going Nowhere. Clouds so swift the rain won't lift, gate won't close, the railings froze. Get your mind off of winter time, 'cause you ain't going nowhere. I said, ooh-wee, ride me high, tomorrow's the day my bride's gonna come. Oh, we gonna fly down in the easy chair. I don't care how many letters they sent, morning came and morning went. Pick up your money and pack up your tent, 'cause you ain't going nowhere. Help me out now. Ooh-wee, ride me high, tomorrow's the day my bride's gonna come. Oh, oh, we gonna fly down in the easy chair. All right, I see some lips moving out there, but not enough sound. Come on, sing it out, all right? Buy me a flute and a gun that shoots, tailgates and substitutes. Strap yourself to a tree with roots, 'cause you ain't going nowhere. And I said, ooh-wee, ride me high. Tomorrow's the day my bride's gonna come. Oh, oh, we gonna fly down in the easy chair. All right, got one more of those coming, so after this next verse, I want you to really howl it out, okay? Here we go. Genghis Khan, he could not keep all his kings supplied with sheep. We'll climb that hill no matter how steep when we get up to it. And I said, ooh-wee, ride me high. Tomorrow's the day my bride's gonna come. Oh, we gonna fly down in the easy chair. Down in the easy chair. Down in the easy chair. Can y'all hear this guitar out there at all? Or is it coming through? Huh? Okay. Well, I love to see these young people down here in front of the stage dancing. Nothing tells me that my music is moving somebody than to see a bunch of toddlers and youngsters dancing on the stage in front of the platform here in front. So y'all are welcome to do just that. This is a little more somber song. It's by a group called The Band. Anybody know who The Band was? Yeah, they backed up Bob Dylan, the guy who wrote the last song that I sang. And this song was written by John Robbie Robertson, and he kind of led the group. And this is a song about the South after the Civil War. So it's called it's called let me see, what is it called? Oh, Night They Drove Old Dixie Down. Yeah, sorry. You know, when you get to be my age, you sort of have to give up things like memory. So sing along. You sing along in the chorus. You can't, no excuses now, because the only chorus is mostly na 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 na. Everybody say that? Na, 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 na. Okay, all right. So you can handle it. All right, no problem. Here we go. Virgil Kane is my name, and I drove on the Danville train till so much cavalry came and tore up the tracks again. In the winter of '65, we were hungry, just barely alive. By May the 10th, Richmond had fell. It was a time I remember oh so well. The night they drove old Dixie down. Here's where you join in. All the bells were ringing. The night they drove old Dixie down. And all the people were singing. They said, na 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 na. All right, that's good. We got 3 or 4 more of those tonight. Back with my wife in Tennessee, and one day she said to me, Virgil, quick come see, there goes Robert E. Lee. Now I don't mind them chopping wood, and I don't care if the money's no good. Just take what you need, leave the rest, but they should never have taken the very best. The night they drove old Dixie down. Help me out. And all the bells were ringing. The night they drove Dixie down. And all the people were singing, they said, na 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 na. Like my father before me, I was a working man. Like my brother before me, I took a rebel stand. Well, he was just 18, proud and brave, but a Yankee laid him in his grave. I swear by the mud below my feet, you can't raise a cane back up when he's in defeat. The night they drove old Dixie down, and all the bells were ringing. The night they drove old Dixie down, and all the people were singing. They said, na 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 na. Okay, one more. This is kind of a fun thing for me. I really enjoy doing this song. It's by a guy who was famous starting in the early 70s, a guy named Steve Goodman. Died way too young in the mid-80s from cancer. But he wrote songs with a lot of humor in them. And that's what I try to do with my songs. So he's kind of one of my heroes. So we'll pull this up here a little closer because I got a feeling it's not coming through. Anyway, this is about food and relationships, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure you all have had some experiences with that. This is a song called Chicken Cordon Blues. Goes like this. When I first met you, baby, you fed me on chicken and wine. It was steak and potatoes and lobster. Babe, I sure felt fine. But now all you give me is seaweed and alfalfa sprouts, sunflower seeds, and I got my doubts. Babe, you left me here with the chicken cordon blues. Yeah, yeah. My stomach's so empty, all I got is food for thought. I've been sitting here thinking about the 20 pounds of groceries we bought. Yes, we bought 10 pounds of brown rice, 5 more beans, 5 pounds of granola, and you know what that means. Yeah, I'm a regular fella with the chicken cordon blues. I'm starved for affection. Babe, I can't take no more. You know, this stuff is so weird that the cockroaches move next door. Babe, can you see that old dog out there in the street? He got a big smile on his face because they let him eat meat. I got the lemon and the chicken cordon blues. Babe, I'm going down to the bakery. I'm gonna find me a jelly roll, some cannoli, some French pastry. You know, a chocolate eclair don't sound too bad. How about some lasagna? You know, fat is where it's at, honey. Okay, now I'm coming back at the end of the show, so enjoy the rest of the show tonight, and I'll be back towards 8:30 sometime. Okay? Thank you.
Wayne Hamilton, ladies and gentlemen. You know, as Wayne stated, he said he didn't do the auditions, but I'll tell you, when he got here tonight, first of all, he got here an hour early. And then he started asking me about the sound inputs and the connection between the soundboard and his guitar amplifier. And, you know, within 30 seconds, he was way outside of my league. But that's what happens when you start dabbling with professionals in your program. But we're really honored to have him here tonight. And by the way, he has a little table over here with some CDs on it and some literature from the Minnesota Songwriters Association. Actually, a good friend of mine and a person who's performed twice here at our talent show, Larry Cease, who wrote a book called Still a Minstrel, connected me with Wayne, and so we're really pleased to have him here tonight. I mentioned the Park Theater Company, and I want to go back a little history. We did our first production right here on this amphitheater stage in September of 2008, and it was an original show produced and directed by Brad Richardson, a St. Louis Park resident, and his wife Rachel Richardson, both who have been involved with the Spanish Immersion program here, but also have been very active and were active with us for about a year and a half, and then got so much energy and power, they spun off their own theater group, Maggie's Farm, which produces a show at the Lennox Center in October each year, and so I encourage you to catch Maggie's Farm Theater and their Books Alive program, which is part of the St. Louis Park community education system. Our second production was Tales of Woe by Edgar Allan Poe, and that was in around Halloween time in 2009, and we did it at the Little Theater at Lenox. You'll notice there's a theme here about using high schools and places of assembly. We really don't have our own community theater, and I'm not going to get on a political soapbox tonight, but for years and years we've been dreaming and hoping that at some point in our community's development we'll actually have a theater. Not that this stage isn't really a wonderful addition, but as you may well know, it starts in mid-May, and we're lucky if we can make it till October, and then the season's over for the outside amphitheater. But we'd really like to have a roof over our heads to do other shows. But next on the agenda, we have a spoken word artist. I mentioned earlier that I'm on the board of the Friends of the Arts. That's partly because they've been so instrumental and so supportive of the Park Theater Company and its efforts here, that I joined the board in 2009. And right around that time, we started planning for our second Our Town experience. The first one that the Friends of the Arts did before I joined was called Faces and Places, and it was a photography oriented. They teach people how to take photographs and then give them a camera and set them loose in the park. You can see the product of that effort in City Hall. They're beautifully framed photographs on the first and second floor that were done by the students of that program, and they had a photography exhibit here before we had the Excelsior and Grand Complex, and it was really well received. But our second project, 2 years later, we decided to do Voices and Verses. And Bob Ramsey, who, I don't know, is Bob here tonight? He said he was going to come. Former St. Louis Park Junior High administrator and teacher. And I saw him a week ago, and he said he retired 20 years ago, but he's never been busier, which is a common theme. But Bob had written a letter to the editor of the Sun Sailor saying he thought it was about time that St. Louis Park had a poet laureate. You know, we had reached that level of our development that we should have a poet laureate. Well, Friends of the Arts thought that's not a bad idea, and in fact, it fits in very nicely with Voices and Verses. Well, City Council really didn't think they wanted to designate anybody as a poet laureate, but they said they would designate somebody as our community poet. And so tonight we have with us Diane Picaro, who's also a member of now. She led that initiative, and she is also on the board of Friends of the Arts, but she's going to share some of her poetry with us tonight. And so with no further ado, I'll have Diane come up and further introduce herself and share some of her poetry.
Wow. Maybe I can use this one. I think it's. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, no cracks about short people.
It reminded me of when you go and look at water fountains, and there's one big water fountain, and then there's the children's water fountain, and I'm always on the cusp of, on the edge of deciding which one I want. Anyway, it's really great to be here and great to see all of you, and the first poem that I'm going to read is dedicated to you because you're the kind of people who come out at night, and I call them the nocturnal people, not the kind of people who stay home and sit in air-conditioned rooms, although tonight you could argue for some wisdom in that. So this is called August Night. The diurnals are tucked in or dozing in front of the TV to the late-night news, heads drooping. A good thing. They miss the murder, famine, debates, and debacles that would cause nightmares or pre-slumber indigestion. Near closing at the supermarket, the nocturnals are out for their last errands while the light stretches its bounty and the breeze spins fandangos. It is the beginning of corn season. A clerk lugs a fresh bushel of ears down the aisle while customers follow in front of the frozen treats. Lingerers line up, craving one last dip of chocolate to tease the waning hours. Soon, these kindreds will drive home through low-lit streets, sing rock and roll out loud to AM radio, tap bluesy rhythms on the steering wheel, unwilling to trade one lingering note for 1 ounce of sleep. Sweet dreams trumped by night sorcery. The second poem, I don't know. Thank you. Was I the only one here who had a power outage tonight? Anyone else? Oh, some of you did. So I decided to bring this poem along because at 5 o'clock the lights and the power went off and I was grumbling, and I won't go into that because probably you were grumbling along with me at that point, trying to get dinner together. So in another part of my life, and still in part of my life, I was an ESL teacher. And I still work as an ESL teacher and as a teacher trainer. So I'm always very interested in new populations that come into the community, into my class, and so on. And this poem was called Power Outage, and it was written for 2 students that I had. When the power went out, it stayed out for days. We complained and plotted too. Commonalities became questions. How to brew a cup of coffee, how to arrive dressed and pressed for work. We calculated inconvenience like colored beads on a large abacus. Imposed dimness made little difference to you in this country for 2 months, transplanted from a rural village in Cambodia where wrinkles and a close shave mattered little next to hauling the water every day. Your struggle here, among many others, was function. A blender, for example, pronouncing refrigerator more daunting than remembering what to put in it. A bold wind with down branches, simply another quirk of the electrical world. I always wonder what you wonder, your face trained for repose, your muscles held in check, while ours, ever charged, twitch with each flicker that crosses an endless array of westernized screens. This time, it was about power. when the wires went down, you knew exactly what to do. And the third poem I'm going to read is not one of mine, but I love reading it, and so given the chance, I'm going to read it. It's called Euphonica Jar, and it's by Jack Preletsky, who writes a lot of children's poems and rhymes. And on a summer night, nothing is better than play and rhymes. So this is called Euphonica Jar. How many of you sing? Anybody sing in the audience? How many of you say that when you sing, a mirror cracks? Anybody here in that category? Okay, so you'll get this poem. Euphonica Jar. Euphonica Jar has a voice that's bizarre, but Euphonica warbles all day as window panes shatter and chefs spoil the batter and mannequins moan with dismay. Mighty ships run aground at her terrible sound. Pretty pictures fall out of their frames. Trees drop off their branches, rocks start avalanches, and flower beds burst into flames. When she opens her mouth, even eagles head south. Little fish truly wish they could drown. The buzzards all hover as tigers take cover, and rats pack their bags and leave town. Milk turns into butter, and butterflies mutter, and bees look for something to sting. Pigs peel off their skins, a tornado begins when Euphonica Jar starts to sing. And I know I'm being followed by two singers who I know will be nothing like Euphonica Jar. Thank you.
Diane Pecoraro. Yes. We do have a couple of young artists with us tonight, but before I do that, a little bit of history, okay? And I again from the history website, and one of the events that happened here in the 60s, 1963 to be exact, and I don't remember it. I was living in a different part of the Twin Cities. I was living in South Minneapolis at the time. But apparently in 1963, WDGY, which was one of those pre-get a haircut radio stations, but they played our music, our rock and roll and teenage music, decided they were going to do an event at our roller gardens, which is still here. Remember, you know, we're on Lake Street there, the roller gardens. It used to have a big dinosaur on the top of it. Well, that roller gardens was the site of a concert by the Trashmen, no less. And those of you old enough to remember Surfer Bird and the Trashmen, they were such a hit that 2,000 kids showed up. The windows popped out of the roller garden. It was a mini kind of riot, but they expected probably a couple hundred, and they got 2,000. But that was one of the that roller garden event was kind of a key historical milestone for St. Louis Park. By the way, you'd be interested to know that the admission fee, it wasn't free. They charged a whopping $2 for the concert. So, prices have gone up. But we've had other talented artists, musicians, guitarists over the years. Peter Himmelman, of course, who has matured into many kinds of songwritings and children's songs. But Peter Himmelman was the lead guitarist and singer for Sussman Lawrence, a band that was very popular here back in the 70s and 80s. And then Dan Israel. Those of you might be familiar with Dan and his work. He was awarded in 2005 the Minnesota Music Award for his songwriting and he's been writing for over 20 years. By the way, a plug for another kind of hidden treasure. If you've never had an opportunity, I encourage you to go over to the Pavic Museum of Broadcasting, which is located right across the street from the post office here off of 36th Street, right down the block here, walking distance from here. It looks like a warehouse building with a tall antenna, but inside it's chock full of Twin Cities memorabilia and radio and TV and broadcasting, and they're the stewards of keeping that kind of performance history alive. We partnered with them in 2010 to do Axel and His Dog, a play by Don Stoltz. Those of you old enough to remember Clellan Card and the Axel program on TV, Don was the pre-Soupy Sales hands, the Tallulah and Towser hands that would come in, and Don was kind enough to give us the script and a number of props, but you'll find out a lot about those early children's programs and adult TV shows over at the Pavic. Steve Raymar is the curator over there. And I found a person online that I wasn't aware of, Sharon Isbin, a graduate from St. Louis Park High School, a guitar teacher and a guitarist extraordinaire who actually is the first female chair of the Juilliard Department of Guitar in New York City. She was back here last year in 2012 to do a benefit concert at the senior high. So again, a number of notables. But our first person tonight is not a St. Louis Parkite, but when we had the auditions here a month ago, she walked in and she said, well, I was surfing online and I found out about the talent show and the auditions, and I just love talent shows. So tonight we have Jessica Tranby Landau, who's going to be performing some of her music for us. Jessica?
Yeah, maybe just a little. I think that's good.
I may have to call on Wayne to come up here and...
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Thanks for coming out. I'm going to be singing a few country songs for you guys. This first one is called White Liar. Hey, white liar, truth comes out just a little that time, and it spreads just like a fire, slips off of your tongue like triple duck, and I don't know why, white liar. You better be careful what you do. I wouldn't want to be in your shoes if they ever found you out. You better be careful what you say. It never really added up anyway. I got friends in this town. Hey, white liar, truth comes out just a little at a time, and it spreads just like a fire, slips off of your tongue like triple duck, and I don't know why, white liar. You said you went out to a bar and walked some lady to her car. Your face had more to tell, 'cause my cousin saw you on the streets with a redhead named Bernice. Guess you don't lie too well. Hey, white liar, truth comes out just a little at a time, and it spreads just like a fire, slips off of your tongue like triple duck, and I don't know why, white liar. Here's a bombshell just for you. Turns out I've been lying too. Yeah, Truth comes out of them at a time, and it spreads just like a fire. Slips off of your tongue like turtle talk, and I don't know why do liar, and I don't know why do liar. This next song is by Sarah Evans, and it's called Suds in the Bucket. She was in the backyard, saying it was a little past 9 when her prince pulled up a white pickup truck. Her folks should have seen it coming, it was only a matter of time. Plenty old enough, and it can't stop love. She left a note on the screen door, sorry, but I gotta go. And that was all she wrote. Her mama's heart was broke, and that was all she wrote. So the story goes. And now her daddy's in the kitchen, staring out the window, just a scratching and a retching his brains. How could 18 years just stop and walk away? A little ponytail girl grew up to be a woman, now she's gone in the blink of an eye. She left the suds in the bucket and the clothes hanging out on the line. Now don't you wonder what the preacher's gonna preach on Sunday morning? Nothing quite like this has happened here before. Well, he must have been a looker, sweet talker, son of a gun, to make a grounded girl just up and run. And all the pennies in the beauty shop now are going on, stop sipping on pink lemonade. How could 18 years just stop and walk away? A little ponytail girl grew up to be a woman, now she's gone in the blink of an eye. She left the suds in the bucket and the clothes hanging out on the line. She's got her pretty little bare feet hanging out the window when they're heading to Vegas tonight. How could 18 years just stop and walk away? A little ponytail girl grew up to be a woman, now she's gone in the blink of an eye. She left the suds in the bucket and the clothes hanging out on the line. She was in the backyard, saying it was a little past 9 when her prince pulled up a white pickup truck. And you can't stop love, no, you can't fence time, and you can't stop love. This next one's called Leave the Pieces. You're not sure that you love me, but you're not sure enough to let me go. Baby, it ain't fair, you know, to just keep me hanging around. You say you don't wanna hurt me, don't wanna see my tears, but why are you still standing here watching me And it's alright, yeah, I'll be fine. Don't worry about this heart of mine. Just take your love and hit the road. There's nothing you can do. I say you're gonna break my heart anyway. Leave the pieces when you go. You can hold out the heartache. Baby, you can make it quick. Really get it over with and let me move on. Don't concern yourself with this mess you've left for me. I can clean it up, you see, just as long as you're gone. And it's alright, yeah, I'll be fine. Don't worry about this heart of mine. Just take your love and hit the road. There's nothing you can do. I say you're gonna break my heart anyway. Leave the pieces when you go. And it's alright, yeah, I'll be fine. Don't worry about this heart of mine. Just take your love and hit the road. There's nothing you can do. I say you're gonna break my heart anyway. Leave the pieces when you go. Leave the pieces when you go. The next song, I won't be using the guitar.
I told you this was improvisational.
Why does the sun go on shining? Why does the sea rush to shore? Don't they know it's the end of the world? 'Cause you don't love me anymore. Why do the birds go on singing? Why do the stars glow above? Don't they know it's the end of the world? It ended when I lost your love. I wake up in the morning and I wonder why everything's the same as it was. I can't understand, no, I can't understand how life goes on the way it does. Why does my heart go on beating? Why do these eyes of mine cry? Don't they know it's the end of the world? It ended when you said goodbye. Why does my heart go on beating? Why do these eyes of mine cry? Don't they know it's the end of the world? It ended when you said goodbye.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jessica Tranby Landau.
Thank you.
You know what really blew me away when Jessica came in to audition? I said, well, what type of songs or what songs would you like to do? She said, well, I picked up the guitar, my dad's guitar, a year ago, and I've got a 400 songs that I know now. So I just thought, oh my God. Our next performer, Maya Latz.
The song I'm going to sing right now is called The Sweet Far Thing, and the music and the lyrics I composed myself. The devil's voice whispering in my ear makes me tingle with fear. The beautiful noise of an angel's wings as she flies over the light blue springs. Unforgettable, so romantical, unbelievable it is. As she flies over the clouds, he is burning mountains of doubt. She's in heaven while he's in hell. They will never hear the wedding bells. Unforgettable, so romantical, unbelievable it is. She is watching over the deep blue sea while he stands under begging, please set me free. She's the angel with the white pure crown. He's the devil underground. Sing a song for the wicked. Sing a song for the good. Sing a song for the poor and the rich. Sing a song for the world. The second song I'm going to be singing is Have You Ever Seen the Rain? the calm before the storm. I know it's been coming for some time. When it's over, so they say, it'll rain a sunny day. I know, shining down like water. I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain coming down on a sunny day? Yesterday and days before, sun is cold and rain is hard. I know, been that way for all my time, till forever on it goes, through the circle fast and slow. I know, it can't stop, I wonder. I want to know, have you ever seen the rain? I want to know, have you ever seen the rain coming down on a sunny day? Yeah, 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 coming down on a sunny day. Thank you.
Another hand for Maya Latz. And as I put in the program, Maya has a forthcoming music video that's about to be released soon. So look for that. And when they came in for the audition, you know, her agent bears a striking resemblance to our state senator, but I didn't say anything. So I really appreciate the talent. We have another spoken word artist with us tonight, poetry. And this gentleman is from India, but he's seen quite a bit. He serves on the Senior Program Advisory Council, and he is going to read some of his original poetry for us. Jajendra Kumar.
Good evening, and really it is an honor to see you all, and I am here long time, last 40 years. I went 96 back. I used to be scientist, but I was raised to be philosopher, so something is combination of this, and you will find some philosophical, some of the idea. And I worked with the Mahatma Gandhi's son, number 4, and we did the Salt March 2004. And in India, we walked 245 miles, international, all people. We had about 5,000 people walking together. And Chicago Tribune and Washington Journal was there, and you will find something on the internet also. Another thing I do since 17 years is think as a self-sufficient programs where we reduce some of the helpless people should not be helpless. So entitlement program we run in United States, now it started in India also. So people are becoming lazy and they depend on the government money and expectation. They are attached to TV, and due to that, we do different things with the school system. I speak in the high schools and the universities as a guest speaker, and don't take the money because otherwise I have no academic certification, so they will stop me. So I'm a free, but I'm not independent, I'm interdependent. Just like he is the one who invited me last week, and I have to make sure that you all don't regret to come here. So especially I like you to come to the Linux community centers. We like to write, and to writing delay your memory loss. And memory loss is all the time is the problem. As you know, we get gray hair and we get the gray inside also. So they call gray matter. As a scientist, gray matter, and we go to the black hole. So we look for black hole, and we do just like going to space. We develop the space center, space shuttle, rocket, and everything. Technology is good, but is misused. All the time we did technology. I used to be 30 years in Silicon Valley. I felt bad. I killed 11 people and 2 space shuttle destroyed, as you know. So, but this is the technology. We take the risk, but we provide convenience and comfort. We have to use convenience and comfort properly, appropriate, and we have to be self-sufficient. We are free, but we think we are independent, and due to that, our country is going down and down. Human races have a problem. So today, I'm going to read Time to be Bright. Paint the picture with the words. Kindly pay attention to the image. Imagine the image before you speak. It is a seed to serve the society. As I mentioned, I prefer to serve the society, but they have to be self-sufficient. I cannot support whole my life, or country cannot support whole life too. So next is you are here to know secret of sincerity. Do you feel I'm in love? And I never take the U-turn. Means I won't give up. And I wish you all cannot give up. I say cannot. So you have to make the decision. Love is not the lust. We all like to love, but it can turn to the lust. So love is not lust. Lust drain our energy to be dust. Lever of love keep our belly full. Lustful passion make us full. Let's cooperate to live. Let's collaborate to the love. Let's contribute to the life. Let's have a lovely time. That is why you are here. Do not be foolish. I am fully content. You and I are one. We human race, we are all one. With the nature also, nature and human are one. We are in the field of love. We are innocent, never acting the foolish. We are never to be lusty. Our love is fruitful. We are in the present. We are citizen useful. Our words are the words, have a joy of painting picture with the words which delay your memory. As you know, my accent throw you off. If you like to read this kind of poetry, Gentle Discovery Institute blog I have. Every day is posted there. Every day there is a poem, maybe 2 lines, 3 lines, or 20 lines. So please, if you like to look at it, no cost to anybody. I don't take the money from anybody. No donation. No writing the proposal to make money. So we have now we are developing called non-profit organization but self-sufficiency. We don't take the money. We take the food from the schools and they were going to throw away. So we provide our own money and give them containers, plastic packaging, transportation. Against that, we support 60 family for the year, but it is not permanent. It is a temporary who have accidents and all other things, or they are single family, single mother, single father, 2 jobs, so we provide that food. But in return, as a gratitude, they are not giving donation. They are giving us as a gratitude, $1, $2, so we don't have to worry about. We have to pay transportation to somebody. I don't do nothing. I don't travel, I don't have a car, I don't own the house. My children support me because I supported them. So nothing wrong to stay with the children or children stay with you. So this is now, follow the light. In the space, there is the place. The place can have a space. We can never be replaced. The awareness of innocentness. You cannot replace innocentness. You can deteriorate, but you cannot bring back innocentness. Once you are destroyed through the lust, you are in trouble. You never can be innocent. Let's think together. Can you see yourself really, willingly? This is the energy of love. You yourself love, that is why you are here. Do not know me, I know you. There is no secret, you are in love. You are in love in the literature, see. Don't have to physical love, but literature is love also. You are aware, you are attracted, you are separated. Are you fragmented too? Pay attention. Temptation can come only, it leads to the frustration. Then comes the depression. We have a society, depressed society. So now, watch out, wait a minute, then weigh. Be aware, do not despair. Do not turn to the pieces. Stay calm. Remember, we are together. We are not separated. It is a continuous, so you have to work hard to clap. We are innocent. We are in love. Be careful. No touch and taste. Saliva changing everything. Do not be risky. I speak in the school system to reduce the problem, children's, high school students having the baby. And grandparents have to support. Government have to support. Society have to support. That is why I'm right like this. Recall, you are not a toy. You are a human being. You are not the dust. Think, consider the option. You are not just a compression. Do not compress yourself. Now verify. Omission can lead to the vision. Vision can be your mission. That is the reason a vision exists. Conform. Passion can be compassion, or it can be fashion with the fusion. but wait. Weigh the option. Visualize, verbalize, vitalize. Pick up the dictionary. You are not history. Do not be history. Stay humble. Stay happy. We are victorious. So, as a human being, we are victorious. America is America and going to go, never will go down. We control the air. We have maximum information to, I'm saying, grandpa, grandmas, don't worry about next generation. Only assist them to stay clean, not touch and taste at the school time. That is the second piece. Now I'm going to make the third piece. We all have a voice, so I'm going to have a voice. This is inner voice. What is the voice? I'm talking, it is a voice, but there is inner voice also. Be content with the things. Tony is a young man. Do not worry to satisfy. It is so sticky. Do not burden yourself with entitlement help. Do not be lonely. Be self-sufficient. Stay alone. You are all in one. Do not be phony. You have a phone. Larry is baloney. He is on the balcony. Do not worry for Sally. Encourage her to write a story. Do not be sorry, and do not be history for the Sally. Please do not sidetrack. Stay on the track. Kindly consider hearing your own inner voice and insist to learn and earn respect. There is no reason to spend lot of buck. It is your luck, my big boy. Tony, live in the present. That is as it is. Let it be. Stay nice. Thank you very much. It is an honor to be here, and I wish you got some messages. Thank you again.
Jajendra Kumar. Well, you know, one of the things I love about the arts is the serendipitousness of it. I mentioned that word earlier. The things you can't predict, that you can't plan for. Unfortunately, David Kopf is not able to be with us tonight. He had an emergency in his circle of friends and was not able to attend. He teased me with the fact that he does want to come sometime and share with us his poetry about ancient Egypt and India and the Taj Mahal. So, I mean, that was a tease. But as we were setting up tonight, I won't call him part of the crew, but Robert Yarwood asked if he could sing a song, if I wanted him to sing, and I said, absolutely, I want you to sing. We don't have enough time before the sun totally sets to describe Robert's history. When I met him several months ago, he said, I've reinvented myself more times than I can tell. And he has an artistic background, entrepreneurial background, and anyhow, he is going to sing a song a cappella for us, and then we're going to wrap up with Wayne Hamilton with some of his original work. So, Robert?
The gentleman before me talked a little bit about being a grandfather, and I'm a new grandfather. A month ago today, I lost my dad. And it's interesting how the circle of life goes on and on and on. I have two beautiful daughters. One of them is 30 and one is 22. And I look out into the audience and I know almost all of you are parents. So what I'm going to do is to sing for you, since my dad's been gone about a month, a song that he used to lay us on his chest and sing to us. Wayne talked about the South. I was born on the Isle of Man, right off the English coast between England and France, and I was brought here in the early 50s and raised in the South where it was very hot, like about 110 in the shade. And so old Southern spirituals are part of my DNA and part of my daughter's DNA. And so these are songs that I taught to my daughter. There's 3 little ditties. I won't keep you very long because I'm sweating the pits out. I don't know about the rest of you out there. This first one is called Summertime. It's an old song written during probably the early 20s or 30s. It's an old spiritual. The other one is called, well, it goes into that, and you see if you identify them. And I'm going to sing them a cappella because I don't play an instrument except a grand piano, and I couldn't bring it out here. Summertime and the living is easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is high. Your daddy's rich and your mama's good looking. But hush, little baby, and won't you cry. One of these mornings, you're gonna rise up singing. Spread your wings and take to the sky. But until that morning, ain't nothing can hold you. So hush, little baby, and won't you cry. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. I looked over Jordan, and what did I see? Coming for to carry me home. A band of angels coming after me, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Down in the middle of an itty-bitty pool swam 3 little fishes and a mama fishy too. Swim, said the mama fishy, swim if you can, and they swam right over the dam. A boom boom did-em dadum wadum choo. A boom boom did-em dadum wadum choo. A boom boom did-em dadum wadum choo. And they swam right over the dam. Down on the banks of the hanky-panky, where the bullfrogs jump from a bank to banky, with a ee-ah-ooh-ah, ee-sop-a-dilly, and plop.
Robert Yarwood. Woohoo! We'll have to make arrangements to get his grand piano up here with him. I mean that's I love a cappella. Anyhow, with no further ado, Wayne Hamilton, who started off this evening when the sun was up, is going to take us home.
Thank you. There will be just a little bit of further ado because I have to make some adjustments. So bear with me, please. Technology is a wonderful thing, but sometimes it can be a hindrance to some extent. And I'm old enough to have to depend on technology. People say, "Well, why do you need your this little thing here has all my lyrics and my chords and everything like that?" And people say, "Well, why do you need that? Why don't you memorize it?" Well, the people who memorize their music are the ones that are up here doing the same 12 songs every show they do. Me, I've got about 250 songs, most of which I wrote personally. And well, no. That's not. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying that you got to remember the chords, the lyrics, and the melody. Well, pick two. I'm 66 years old, and that's all my little feeble brain can handle. All right, so pick two. Anyway, this is a tune I wrote about a song that's not too far from where I live, about 4 blocks east of where I live over in St. Paul. And this song is about a highway. Bob Dylan wrote about it. Some other folks have written about it, but they always write about the southern end of things. I'm writing about the northern end of things. It's Highway 61 that starts in the Gulf of Mexico and goes all the way up to the Canadian border. So here's my version of it. I was headed north in my 4-wheel drive. Yes, I needed some time with a line in the water to make me feel alive, get some sandy soil underneath my feet. With my trusty rod and my black dog bow, headed where the air smells sweet. Didn't spend much time on that concrete slab. Pulled off at Rock Creek, rolled down my window, turned off the radio gab. I moved away from the interstate hum. Put my 4 rubber tires on the 2-lane highway known as US 61. Well, Highway 61, that's the only way to go. You travel that way, you'll learn everything that you need to know about pines in the rocks and lakes full of fishes and tons of country fun. Don't care where you're going, you ain't seen nothing till you roll down 61. Went through Willow River, took a look at Moose Lake. And before I drove through downtown Duluth, I came close to Cloquet. It's awful pretty when you drive the North Shore. Gooseberry Falls, Split Rock Lighthouse, and a whole lot more. Highway 61, that's the only way to go. You travel that way, you'll learn everything that you need to know about pines in the rocks and lakes full of fishes and tons of country fun. Don't care where you're going, you ain't seen nothing till you roll down 61. Any way you cut it, too bad, time off don't last. You gotta go back, and you can go slow or fast. I choose slow, 'cause I'd rather walk than run. That's how we do it on Highway 61. Yes, Highway 61, that's the only way to go. You travel that way, you'll learn everything that you need to know about pines in the rocks and lakes full of fishes and tons of country fun. Don't care where you going, you ain't seen nothing till you roll down 61. Don't know what you're missing, you ain't seen nothing till you roll down 61. 61. Thank you. You're very kind. Well, now I hope you'll indulge me on this. I should have put this in the first part of the show because the little kids who were running around here earlier this evening probably would have loved this. But I woke up one Saturday morning with this chorus in my head, and it wouldn't go away. So I sat down and wrote the chorus, and then I wrote some verses to go with it, and this is what came out. I consider it a little kid's song, but I haven't heard from Children's Television Workshop on it yet. But sing along with me on the chorus if you feel like it. It's called Diddle Waddy Bang Kabang. It's kind of a nonsense song. I hope you enjoy it. Goes like this. Oh, no pick on this one, Wayne. When I got my very first car, I was so proud, felt like a rock star. It sounded so sweet as it rolled down the street. I love that noise that's taking me far. It goes floop diddle waddy bang kabang, floop diddle waddy bang kabang, floop diddle waddy bang kabang, diddle waddy bang kabang. It's kind of catchy, isn't it? I'm gonna sing it again. Y'all sing it with me. All right, here we go. Floop diddle waddy bang kabang, floop diddle waddy bang kabang, floop diddle waddy bang kabang, diddle waddy bang kabang. All right, so we get to that part in the future. Y'all sing along with me, all right? One day I bought me a boat. I liked the water and I wanted to float. It's got a great little engine, and without intervention, it pushes me around while it makes this sound. Quote, floop diddle waddy bang kabang, floop diddle waddy bang kabang, floop diddle waddy bang kabang, diddle waddy bang kabang. Pretty good, that's good. I found a sweet young friend, makes my heart go off the deep end. As we hold each other, I soon discover the sound of our hearts makes a real fine blend. They say, floop diddle waddy bang kabang, floop diddle waddy bang kabang, floop diddle waddy bang kabang, diddle waddy bang kabang. One more time, floop diddle waddy bang kabang, floop diddle waddy bang kabang, floop diddle waddy bang kabang, diddle waddy bang kabang, diddle waddy bang kabang, diddle waddy bang kabang. Good job out there. All right.